Does your website have online curb appeal? Similar to making a coffee shop cozy and inviting so that people will be drawn to stop in on their way to work, your website should also have that same appeal. That way, when online searchers are clicking through results to find just the right business for their needs, yours is the one that steals the show. Gail Mejia, our Senior Director of Fulfillment and BizIQ's expert web designer, is here to give you tips and tricks to make your web design work for you.
Hi, my name is Gil Mejia. I'm the Senior Director of Design and Fulfillment at BizIQ. I've been in the creative industry for over 40 years. I could always draw. My dad owned a printing company when I was younger, and I would go visit him at the print shop, and was drawing at his desk one day and doodling around, and one of the printers came up to me and asked me, "Have you ever thought about graphic design?" Had no idea what graphic design was, took a class in high school, and the rest was history 40 years later. I think number one is it has to have a compelling visual design. If folks do not like what they see when they first land on your site, they're just going to bounce out and they're not going to want to stick around to see anything else. I think branding is a big element as well. Not just the branding when I mean branding by logos or branding by a color, but an actual brand experience that you want somebody to have when they're visiting your website. In additionally, you have to have quality content. Well, we're not talking about SEO per se, we're talking about design and visual aspects of that design. Having good quality content is going to be a key for not only your customers, but for the searches as well. UX, UI, and that's just going to be really, is it easy to navigate? Is it have good flow? Is it got the navigation that I can click through and I don't stumble around as I'm going through it? And then also, do you have credibility? The credibility being, is your content credible? Are your images credible? Is it real people, real places? Do you have social proof, reviews? I think those are all the big aspects of good design. Well, we're not going to be talking about design principles, and what I mean by design principles are like contrast, visual flow, visual hierarchy, typography. We're going to really talk about the process here, and the process starts with defining your ideas. What are the needs? What are the wants? What are the expectations that should come from your website design? You need to do a lot of research, research on things that what has been done already, what should be done, and what needs to be done when you're building your site. Come up with great, strong ideas. You have to be able to conceptualize what those ideas are, and you have to be able to visualize it when it's complete. Having the ability to see it is going to help you when it comes time to really build the process of it and start the construction of your site and really dive into it to make sure that you have good continuity throughout. And in the end, it's after you've done that, you have to implement it. How do you implement it? It doesn't work if it's not live, so you need to make sure that you get that site live and implement everything that you've done leading up to that point. There are tons of resources out there. Just by doing a simple search, you'll find a plethora of different resources that are out there that you can get good information from. None of them are wrong, none of them are good, none of them are bad. There's a bunch of resources. I think the really key element is to be sure whatever you're finding, whatever it is that you're going to do, that it's a true trend that is leading to becoming something that is consistent and not just a simple fad. Well, there's a lot of them. There's so many different ones, and there's so many different CMS platforms and different types of builders that are out there. Really, I think it comes down to which is the right one for what you're trying to accomplish. None of them are, they're not good, they're not bad, they just fill a need. And for me, I personally use WordPress, and I use WordPress really mainly because of its flexibility. There's so much you can do with WordPress, and it can fulfill really the needs of any industry if you do the right things for the right reasons. Too much over design is bad design. Just because you can put it on your website doesn't mean you should. If there's a question, just leave it off, and let's be clean, let's be contemporary, let's be simple, and let's be to the point. I think it could be very over confusing when you start adding the kitchen sink to your website. Let's make it to the point and make it credible, and let's really get out the details that you need. Prominent call to actions are one of the most important things you can do on your website. Too often you see sites where you're scrolling through a site and the only way you can get back to how to get a hold of the company is to scroll all the way back up to the top, and you don't want to do that. Give good call to actions throughout as you're scrolling. You want your customers to contact you. And lastly, kind of mentioned bad design, and I talked about it a little bit, that we weren't going to talk about the principles, but it's really important to have good design, good layout, good visual flow. Let the eye flow through the design and through the layout of your website. You don't want people getting confused on where to go. All you're going to make them do is leave. You heard me say a lot of things, so get it done right. Be credible, and you need a digital presence. You may have one already, but is it doing what you need it to do? You may not have one at all, and if you don't have one at all, you really need a digital presence. Everybody's searching for their businesses that they need to support them, and the only way to find you is online. Roughly about 4 years ago, we had a hair salon that came to us, local salon in the Midwest. And they had a website that was probably built in the mid-90s, I would think. And it looked like a mid-90s site. And we could tell that it was an older site. You could tell the functionality was just kind of a little off. And she really came through and wanted something that was, she used the words beautiful. She used the words whimsical. She used the words, she wants it to look fantastic to her customers. And we built her a new site for her new hair salon, and the site was amazing. We built it on WordPress, built it in a more contemporary format and modern format, was responsive. Her old site was not responsive, and it just turned out to be this beautiful, fantastic, and whimsical site that she ended up loving. Web design is essential for any business. As mentioned before, if you don't have a digital presence, you need one. If you have one, you probably need to take a look at it again. We enjoy helping businesses become successful. Our mission and our goal is to help small businesses and every business alike to have a prosperous and successful business. We would love to help your business grow.
If you're a local business owner who's new to marketing online, you're probably faced with so many different facets of marketing to get to know and implement for your business. Web design is just one of the many things to take care of. That's why we have a whole series here on YouTube going over all of the major digital marketing components via expert interviews. From PPC to SEO and social media, we've got you covered. And if watching through tons of YouTube tutorials and implementing our best practices sound too time-consuming for a busy business owner like yourself, join the thousands of smart and successful business owners who have partnered with BizIQ to take care of all their digital marketing needs. Our plans are comprehensive and affordable. Plus, you can get a free consultation with one of our experts to see exactly what you need and how we might be able to help. Just click the link in the description to book your free consultation today. We can't wait to see your business grow.